You wrote your essential question down and you have the steps and notes that I gave you before watching this video. Let's do these examples together. If you're watching this later, that information that I just spoke about is in the assignment. It's in the notes that are there. All right, we've got 1.71 divided by 0.9. Let's set up our work here. We're going to do some long division. 1.71 divided by 0.9. Now what we talked about is what we need is this divisor. The divisor here has to be a whole number. Divisor. That divisor needs to be a whole number. And to do that, we have to manipulate the decimal. Now technically, you know what we're doing? We're multiplying this by 10. If we multiply this by 10, it moves the decimal 1 over and makes it 9. Whatever we do, though, to the divisor, we also have to do to the dividend here. We also multiply this by 10, which means we have to move this over 1, and that's where we put our new decimal and then put our new decimal in the answer. Now I'm going to use my fingers to, let's use the markers. How about the markers? No, let's use my fingers. When you look at this, here's my decimals, and I have to move them one place. They both move one place. That keeps my equation true. I can still work with what I've got here because I was fair to both of these. I did the same thing to both of them. So now we'll do the math, and this is just like the long division we've been doing. What is it? Divide. It's, what did Cole say? Dad, mother, sister, brother. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Does McDonald's sell burgers? Okay, so how many 9s are in 17? There's one 9 in 17. 17 minus 9 is 8. I brother now, bring down that 1. How many 9s in 81? 9. 81, and just to prove it, I go down to the 0. That makes my answer 1.9. That's it. The big thing with this is your divisor cannot have a decimal. So you're technically multiplying by a power of 10, but just if I'm going to move it 1 to the right, I've got to move this one to the right. Let's do one more. Let's do 2 more. We'll do 2 more. They're quick. All right, this one is 52 divided by 0.4. And let's take that and put that in our division bracket. I still have really no idea what this thing is called. It's 0.4. We notice there's a decimal in our divisor, so we've got to move that decimal 1 to the right. Now, there's no decimal in here because we saved the ink. There's a decimal for every number. It just sits here. We just don't often write it. Now, this is that spot, like my Mr. Romanovich's favorite word, right? We're going to need to annex a 0 right here because we're going to move this one spot, put a new decimal place and on top, and then put a 0 in here. Now we're doing the math. We have a divisor that's a whole number. How many 4s are in 5? 1 of them. 1 left over. Bring down our 2. How many 4s in 12? 3 of them. 12. 0. Now notice where we're at. We haven't made it to the decimal place yet. We've got to get there though because there's a number that has to be there. So in this case, we need to actually technically bring this down and say to ourselves, how many 4s are there in 0? There's no 4s in 0. That means there are 0 4s in 0. 0 times 4 is 0. 0. So our answer is not 13 because of where the decimal place is. Our answer is 130. So a little trickeration there. Like if you're watching YouTube videos and not watching this, you're really not going to know what's going on. You'll probably say I'm confused like 50,000 times. I'm not talking about anybody in particular. All right, let's do one more. And it's this one. So erase, 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 erase. I've got 0.00. Let me check and see here. 2 zeros. 9 divided by 0.18. Let's set it up with our division bracket. I got 0.18. Gazinta machine, 0.009. Got to make my divisor whole. So I'm going 1, 2 steps. So then I'm going to go 1, 2, put my new decimal, and put my new decimal on top. And then I start the math. Let's see how this one works. Oh, that was nice. How many 18s are in 0? 0. How many 18s are in 9? 0. How many, oh, Mr. Romanovич's favorite word, annex. We need another 0 here. How many 18s in 90? All right, I know if I round this, I just think 20. How many 20s are 94? There's 5 20s and 100. So let's try 4. I'm going to do some side math here. 18 times 4, 32, 3, 72. That doesn't seem like it. Oh, look. I bet it's 5. Let's try 5. 5. 5 times 8 is 40. Carry the 4. 5 times 1 plus 4 is 90. We have a 0. Which means our answer here is 0.05. Key to this is make sure that divisor is a whole number. However many steps you move that decimal place to the right, you have to do the same thing in your dividend. Good luck!